life was boring, reassuring. The day I met you, there's nothing I want more than to be right there by your side. Moonlight, crystal skylines, cross my heart, I'll be there till the end. Right there with you, even though you'll never notice me, 'cause I'm just as free
getting the first pick.
Gets 3, Pyro gets 3 with the
Blade Kid putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to Overwatch Tranquility. I look across the farmland of the tears and way in the back, it seems, there's one barn left to burn before we start just setting fire to the whole dang farm. And it's Joey Esports versus Q for Quarantine here in our Discord tier. Are the Marsupials going to jump over the competition and find themselves in the grand finals against Nya? Or is that Fauci Ouchie just not powerful enough to save Joey Esports this time around? We're about to find out. My name is Captain Jack, and I'm going to be your play-by-play for the evening, joined by a newcomer here to the Tranquility community, Tropic Theory, coming in on the analyst, and of course the lovely, wonderful Booth on production. Now, Tropic, this has been a long time coming. These matches this week, people have been watching for and waiting for and predicting for essentially months now. I mean, what's your take on it?
I mean, we are here at the semifinals. There is not a third match coming in for whoever loses this. So they are going to throw everything on the table tonight. I'm looking for the aggression, any sort of cards you haven't played, just so we could see almost anything because the players have nothing to lose in the sense. And Joey Esports, they want to keep their untarnished record. So they're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen.
I think that's absolutely true, but don't count out Q for Quarantine, fighting their way back, I believe, all the way from the wild card round, if I'm not mistaken. So we got some scrappy underdogs here looking to be able to take it back. Will this be a Cinderella story in the making? That is for you all at home to go ahead and bet on here in the chat. I believe the poll is still up to decide on who is going to get it. And remember, we got lots of great stuff that's going on right now. Of course, you get your Trank Bucks every time you're watching, so appreciate you being here. But also, every 10 minutes, offline NPC, yes, offline NPC, ends up tracking you and giving you a little point. You can hit exclamation points in the chat. And at the end of all of this, so after next week during our All-Star matches, not next week but the week after, we're going to be giving away 3 $100 Amazon gift cards, and each point qualifies as an entry. And I'll tell you, I have no life. I'm already over 24 hours invested in Tranquility, and I have 150 points. I don't care that I win, though. So it really doesn't matter for me. But those of you that have been watching the whole time, congrats. You've got quite a few entries in there. But remember, it only takes one to be able to get entered in for those gift cards. It may be a slim chance, but still a chance nonetheless. So thanks for being here. And if people aren't here, start bringing them on in so they can start earning those points. Our first map of the evening is going to be Lijiang Tower, which is always a great control map to start things off on.
I would say that it is a favorite amongst the Overwatch community, I would argue, and it just has so much to offer as that first map we see these teams in. A control room where it's very much typically that brawl, but we can also see some variations of dive coming along for Night Market and Gardens.
That's absolutely true, and that question of what the first map is going to be, it is actually going to end up being the Gardens. Great place to start things off on, and compositions range wildly. You could end up seeing the Rush come in here, could end up seeing the double bubble, or just the full dive. Another composition we've been seeing a lot lately is the Metal Bubble, so the Wrecking Ball Zarya composition. Regardless of what you run, though, it seems that either Zarya or D.Va is really the key to be locking down these objectives, especially here on the Garden.
Yeah, certainly. I'm looking to see what these teams are opting, and I was actually going to comment that we could definitely see some creativity coming along, and Frosty on that Symmetra, so that really opens it up for just some mobility opportunity. And also, Symmetra is a great player, or character, I should say, because you're able to also utilize the enemy's shields to just increase that beam to that damage potential that Symmetra brings.
All right, folks, here's the beginning of the end for one of these teams. So let's see who's going to be walking away with that victory. And it looks like Frosty using that teleporter to get the team to spawn and set up those turrets early are going to create a lot of space for them to be able to hold on to this objective already. But you see Joey Esports trying to see if they can get an angle in. Asdo just firing hip fire after hip fire, trying to get that shield down, but this double shield is just too strong for them. QZ able to zone off Meow, and there it is, able to find that first pick, but Frosty does trade it in, and already Remy using that new ability, that 250 damage with the remake, ends up getting a lot in, but it's too little, too late to keep the team alive as we go ahead and see Q for Quarantine take control.
Now, we are really seeing right now a match of both of these brawl comps, these brawl rush comps with this damage output coming along. And though QZ had that wall, did get some picks to begin with, the damage output coming from Meow MC and Frosty, especially as Frosty set their pretty much their fortress up with those turrets, it was just too much for Joey Esports to handle.
Yep, and already here it goes again as we see the wall coming out here. The May wall, unfortunately, a little too far back, and that window is going to be slightly utilized, not going to get the full value that they were looking for. So that's already one ultimate off the table, and now True Donger going to be using one of their own. Asdo has the ult online. Gravitic flex, the Deny doesn't find anything, and neither does the Gravitic. That immortality going to hold everything together. Beat now invested from Nanook, trying to see if they can hold the team here on the objective or a pass that 50% mark, and there it is, the beat coming in from the phone. They're phoning in a lifeline as a Blossom coming out from Meow MC. Does find True Donger, but the damage, I believe, has already been done as the Ice Queen helps round them all up and grabs the objective for Joey Esports.
Oh man, Joey Esports had a great rotation coming along line, using QZ's wall as that win condition for the fight, blocking off one of the Luis, who is that main tank that needs to be there for his team to protect them, and really offers that sustain. Oh my god, Captain Jack comes in with a poof and really just causes a reset once again for QFQ.
That's right. Nanook, Phone was just paying it back. Nanook got a double kill earlier on their first push, taking out their DPS. I mean, the fight was already over, but that was just Flare. And Nanook saying, no. You don't get to be the only one to walk away with that double boof to start things off. And now we're going to see the rotation. Looks like Frosty now taking on to the McCree. So they're going to match this rush. Chef also on the D.Va. There it is. Blizzard coming out, going to prevent that E from coming in. Immortality gets taken down, and Glitch ends up finding themselves off the map for some reason, probably backed up a little too far to be able to get honed in there just to get out of the blizzard, and ends up finding themselves right over the edge. But Percentage now getting ready to match up.
We are matching up here, and with the match comps coming in, it really is a battle of the maze in the sense of whose wall is going to create more value in that win condition with that single ability for the team. And we just saw QZ come in block off once again Luis, who is that prime person that needs to be alive as the main tank, and once again it's spelled respawn and reset. But we have the window that comes out from Glitch, and hopefully this is enough as we're in the last fight.
Ooh, double windows out. Louise sending in a fire strike though. Shatter though comes out for Jeffbot. The Shatter does possibly cancel that tackle. Looks like right before it ends up connecting with the wall. And it looks like Louise just gonna be swinging for the stars. Might as well be batter up. But overtime's ticking away. Joey Esports are sitting really pretty right now. And no matter what they do, Q for Quarantine are gonna have one heck of a fight ahead of them.
One heck of a fight. Joey Esports just has they're in a win condition right now. Just need one fight coming up, along with having these powerful ults with QZs that can really make that turn to them. But Nana has their own beat, so it really is up to him if their team can sustain this entourage of ults.
Ooh, leading in with the beat as we see the Venn diagram of Blizzard's on point. I think it's about to get quiet here real quickly, but there's QZ and Asdo clicking heads and taking names at the 95% mark. We will see this trade on over overtime, 99-99. Joey Esports takes it back in their favor, and there's nothing they can do. It's dead, done, and dusted on this point as Joey takes the Gardens and takes the lead here 1-0 on Lijiang Tower.
That fight was really interesting, Captain Jack. It really showed that in a match, Joey Esports really, the walls coming in from QZ just really offered them that win condition consistently. They will be swapping it up here, and I am curious with both of these differences right now. We're seeing the difference of Remy on the Winston versus Chef on the Diva, and the Diva offers, along with Ryan, offers that extra protection from the DM, but Remy could really offer that damage output and that front line pressure. So I'm curious. True. We'll see which tank line really, is that offers them the advantage.
That's true. I think the thing that I'm most interested in is this Doomfist matchup between QZ and Meow. And QZ finding that first pick on the Glitch. The fight's done. Well, and Meow able to bring it right back. Ends up taking down Jeffbot with the help of Frosty as well. But Remy's still holding strong here. That Tesla Cannon gonna go ahead and clean up that objective as Joey Esports takes control.
Wow, it's like the target focus coming along from Joey Esports is really giving them that leg up right now, especially with both teams matching the same composition. It's all about, we're dealing with the same types of damage, but the focus just makes such a big difference. Oh my god, the measure comes up.
That is daring right there. Not thinking that the turrets were set up on point. Actually worked out well for them, but that level 3 beam, oh boy, that's gonna clean things right on up there. At very least, just keep them at bay. There's the Ant Matrix now invested to go ahead and see if they can get some additional picks right here. And QZ coming in with the slam. Welcome to the jam, but doesn't walk away with anything. Shatter coming out from Louise doesn't find nothing but shield, and Remy is now just Tesla Cannon into oblivion right now. Meow waiting for it. Ends up finding Glitch amidst the chaos with the meteor strike, and that's all she wrote. 50% and climbing as Joey Esports continue to hold.
They are holding strong right now, and their all rotation is really taking the dominance of these fights. And I have to say, Jack, Asto had that teleporter up the whole time, and that leg up of having such a quick respawn for the team really hurt Q for Quarantine with that. But Frosty shield comes out, so that
boy. Here they go again, and wow, Jeffbot ends up getting Glitch out of position right there, anticipating the teleporter strat one more time, but Meow ends up paying him back with that uppercut. They're gonna go ahead and continue to clean this objective up, and just shy of that 99% mark. It looks like Q for Quarantine, they ain't gonna lay down just yet.
No, they are not going to make this easy for Joey Esports, but they also utilized quite a bit of their own ult for that fight, but we were in last fight territory, Captain Jack, so it was definitely well worth it, alongside with Meow MC, their Meteor Strike, so that can prove quite deadly, especially since Joey Esports is looking at a dry fight here for this next one.
That's true, and they can definitely make it happen right there. Unfortunately, Teleporter didn't actually match up with those turrets very well, I don't think. Maybe one got through. It looks like one got through, and now we got the crosshatch here on the objective. Those sim walls just crossing each other, so now it's going to come up to those heroes that can get through those barriers easily. That Rhine, that Doomfist, that Monkey, and QZ just cleaning it up right now. Remy gets in on some of that action as well, and the teleport is back up. Be able to get it up to 50%, but it's Final Fight territory, and they're leading right back into the action. As QZ finds Frosty on the other side of that teleporter, and is looking to continue to clean up this point. Jeff just swinging away with that hammer, and is going to continue to hold this together, but Meow takes them out just as well, as Jeff Bot ended up taking down their own tank. Overtime now ticking away as we see the dive coming in to try to prevent anything from happening. Asco, though, just supercharged right now, taking down the Immortality, taking down the Monkey. Barrier comes up. Overtime, Diva Bomb, dead, done, and dusted. Joey Esports walking away with the victory here on the Lijiang Tower.
I gotta say, Captain Jack, Joey Esports just made a statement with that game alone. 2-0. They are here to win it. They are not going to let down easy, and they do not want to tarnish their perfect record. But Phone coming in with that major boost. What Q for Quarantine really need to focus on right now is the fact of Joey Esports really targeting Q for Quarantine where it hurts. That first hit coming in with that last fight territory, we'll say. QZ came in, picked off Baptiste immediately. It hurts when your main source of hills are down. It really, the team struggles with that. That's a major player to go down.
That's definitely true. Look, I was noticing a little bit in the chat earlier, said tonight's match currently 7 out of 10, needs more remake kills. So I think we're going to see a little bit more of that going forward for sure. So it's going to be interesting to see if they continue. Like, Control is messy, right? It's always messy. Honestly, at the end of the day, you never know who's going to come out of it. I've yet to see a team say that they're actually the best on Control, to be completely honest with you. Like, every team I seem to interview or talk to, they're like, oh, we're horrible at Control. We're bad. And it's like, obviously you're not. Obviously you're not. Like, I don't know what to tell you here, but sometimes it's crapshoot, right? It depends on what map you end up getting, and this map, I believe, is decided by the higher seed, so Joey Esports set themselves up for victory really, really early on here. And now it's going to be up to Q for Quarantine to try to match that. We're going to be heading to Assault next, and it looks like Hanamura is the map on the table.
Hanamura, that's a really interesting pick, especially since we saw quite a bit of the symmetric play coming from both teams. So I'm definitely expecting a rush coming in, and the question is if the defending team will be able to stop that, knowing that, that Symmetra will most likely come to play. If they're going to be able to stop it and continue to burn down time. We might potentially see some Mei coming along here, because on that defense, she's just such a strong character to block that choke off.
That's absolutely true. It's really going to be coming down to how this ends up all working out in the end for them. Speaking of working out, I know that you are working up those points in the chat, folks, so thank you so much for being there as Booth just politely groans at my horrible dad joke transition there. But you know what? I'm not ashamed, and you know what you shouldn't be ashamed of? You should totally be hitting that heart right there so that you could show us how much you love us. Hitting that bell so you get notified every time we're online. And if you want to help support this community, if you have it on you, be able to hit that subscribe button. $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime sub will give you access to some amazing community emotes, as well as support this amazing community. That's how we get those $100 gift cards and give away those t-shirts. That's the money you bringing in, sending it right on back to you. So we're going to go ahead and head on into Hanamura to start things off. Now, Q for Quarantine are on the attack. Since we're doing a feature match, they're not going to be swapping sides. So, ideally, they feel like they have the upper hand on the attack.
Yeah, potentially. They get the first shot at any sort of cheeky plays if we are going to see the Symmetra teleporter coming in. But this could also be this could also spell for Joey Esports to really dominate that first point. The defending side, especially if they do get that second point, really rough coming along since defense has that sweet spawn advantage. So it really creates this win condition of not just killing important players, but you have to kill the whole team to avoid that respawn curse, we'll call it, where you can just definitely get those players staggering in and continue to hold out to, hopefully get the picks needed to keep control of that point.
That's absolutely true, and it looks like they're going to be using that Symmetra rush right here. They're gonna lock in that May as well. So they're looking for Chef and Louise to be pumping out that damage with the hammer and the rockets to be able to go ahead and follow up on that stuff. And Frosty getting up to that beam. And right now it doesn't look like they're ready for that TP. There it is. Okay, they're not even going to teleport straight to point. They're going to use the rotation here, which is kind of smart. They probably expected it, and now we're going to see the contest coming in. Jeffbot swinging away with that mighty axe. It's golden, and it's ready to spill some blood right now as we go ahead and see them moving into this objective. Just a little poke. The Maywall comes up, separates out Louise from the rest of the team, but the Immortality holds it all together. Now we're going to see Chef melted down. The turrets in that backline not getting taken care of just yet, as we see Frosty trying to make their way in with that charged beam. Meow on the side, going to separate out the team as well, and already a minute is off this clock, and the first pick finally comes in for Asdo, and it looks like the fight ain't over. Now we're going to see the amp utilized, and they're just going to give it up. They're done. They used the ultimate that they needed to, but no! The Maywall comes up. There's no way for them to get out, and they're going to find him. Jeffbot taking down Glitch. Asdo finding Louise, and that is all she wrote. They're going to push it pretty much almost to the spawn doors, and that's a good minute and a half off of that time bank.
Was a long fight, Captain Jack.
Yes,
that created so many ults coming along, as well as utilizing that window in that. But Joey Esports played that so well. Asdo finding those angles and poking, and ended up getting that first pick that was important. And he started it off with that Deadeye. Doesn't get anything, but does get the Immortality filled out of the way.
That's true. Immortality's out of the fight now, and it looks like they're just going to teleport straight to point this time around. Barrier now coming up for Frosty. Maywall just barely misses, and the Blizzard now ends up coming out for QZ, trying to see if they can isolate anyone on the objective. Scatter out for Jeffbot, looking to clean it up, and the Immortality keeps them alive despite all those turrets on point. Bomb coming out, but oh! You thought you were clever, you thought you were safe, but you forget that's QZ's wall. That's not going to keep you safe. They're going to let it down at the last moment, unless you are like a man in my comp game, and then you totally wouldn't. But nevertheless,
yeah, you're
see them continue to hold.
QZ is doing. Their walls are creating win conditions within the game, and just it is winning them each of these mid fights coming along, and it gets dangerously low, but that could be the success coming in from 4Q for Quarantine if they're able to get QZ down.
Yeah, Frosty rotating over to that McCree now to go ahead and provide some additional damage in this fight. Match the brawl, or match the rush up. Pick for pick right here. Asdo separated out from the rest of the team, gets frozen and is dead. Jeffbot! The absolute mad lad takes both tanks off of this objective, and no, the Maywall isn't close enough to the edge, ends up still zoning out Meow on the objective. Was thinking that they would be able to get that, but they do get some additional percentage on there. As long as they get in before Jeffbot does, they're in for a good fight.
Yeah, 100%. It looks like they will meet at the same time, but this is the last chance for Q for Quarantine right now. They need to win this and not get do not get down right now, or else this could spell the end.
Yep, Immortality comes out as well as the self-destruct. Doesn't find its counter! Come out from Jeffbot, but gets countered! Right there, not going to be able to get the value that they're looking for, but QZ with the Blizzard is just going to clean it right on up. The The only one left near the objective right now is Chef, it seems, and Nanook, who's getting ready to come up on that beat. Now it is going to be up to Louise to try to touch, but no! Gets booped away by Jeff, booped away by Phone, and they're going home with 49.8% here on Objective Alpha.
Oh man, 49.8%. That is going to be a rough defense coming in from Q for Quarantine. They're already going to fight the struggle of having that long spawn. So it is so important right now to really play that sustained game. I'm expecting a BAP coming along, even something along the lines of maybe a Torbjorn to really offer that defensive, the defensive ult of just taking the space and having that damage. Or man, Joey Esports, Captain Jack, plays so cleanly. QZ! QZ, those walls!
Yeah, those walls have been absolutely on point. Not only have they been used very well to be zoning out the enemy, but also, like we saw there, just kind of giving us false sense of security to the enemy, thinking that was a play that they were not going to be able to get that bomb in the right position. But, you know, even if QZ was dead, we'd still be able to get the value off of that wall dropping, because you can do it when you're dead too. So at this point, you gotta you gotta get out of that comp mentality. You gotta know that they're gonna be playing dirty, and it's not going to be those wasted ultimates you continue to see in the ladder. But now they're looking to use it. Oh no! They swapped off the sim strat to start things off. They're just gonna brawl it out.
Yeah, they have a clean rotation coming along, but oh no! Fab gets extremely low, Shrewdonger! Thankfully, he saves himself with that immortality build, though.
Very good. Immortality already used, though, so it looks like they're gonna wait it out as they continue their rotation, though, to allow Shrewdonger to get that back on the line. But they're in a great position. That's exactly where you want to be. Maywall out in the Nook. Given tinnitus there to Jeffbot as they take them out of the fight. Frosty, a little bit out of position, gets caught by Phone, and the phone is indeed ringing right now. The question is, will Q for Quarantine pick it up? Because right now, they're getting ready to lose this objective if they're not careful. The picks got to continue to come in as they wait for their team to respawn, and we already see those ultimates getting ready to come online. QZ out of position just a little bit due to that Maywall, ends up finding Remy, getting them frozen up, but the damage isn't there to follow up, and QZ couldn't finalize the kill there onto Meow, and is going to pay for it with an icicle between the eyes. Another minute and a half off the clock, and Q for Quarantine hole.
Wow, what a long fight coming along. Same for out as it was last time. And it was such a messy fight that both teams already have all the ultimates coming along line, and as we see, the windows start it all.
There we go, the window's out, and QZ's trying to zone. Shrewdonger finds Meow, and Glitch is down too. Self-destruct coming in, and wow! Jeff finding that remake kill just like you wanted, audience, but the damage is already done. Chef, the only one left there, didn't have another remake to bring into the action. And there it goes once again. Joey Esports locking down Hanamura, bringing us up 2-0 in this series. Come on, Joey. Gotta give them a little bit of room to breathe. They got families, and we were supposed to burn a barn tonight.
I feel you, Captain Jack. Joey Esports is really coming along strong, and wow, they are creating a fight for Q for Quarantine. But as we see, Q for Quarantine have had really great moments. But I have to say, we have quite a bit of players on Joey Esports side that are just really, they have an organized aggression, we'll say, that they just press that W key. They have the speed coming along with the Lucio and the damage output in the front. And man, like you said, they are not giving them absolutely any room to breathe right now or create those ultimates. They have been up ahead of those ultimate rotations.
That's absolutely true. And you know what I think it is? Not only is it because Joey Esports is #1 seed compared to the 5th seed Q for Quarantine, but also I think it's just because they're mad at Mr. Yeti. I mean, he's got the full pajama set. He's got the full bedroom set. He's just sleeping on Joey Esports like a baby right now, as we all know. And I tell you what, I hope somebody's ringing the bell over Mr. Yeti's head, because Joey Esports is knocking at the door, and they're letting you know they're coming for that fight against number 1 seed Nia over on the Indigos.
Ooh, yes, they are. But it will be the side. We will be heading to hybrid next, which I love the different hybrid maps that we have right now. We have a choice of Hollywood, Kings Row, Unumbani. So all those maps have these different instances in where we kind of see that same variety like we see in control maps, you know? Hollywood, for instance. I actually hope they choose Hollywood, because it is not a set meta comp. Because
you know where we're going, Tropic. Why? No, Tropic's been a caster long enough. Tropic should know. If King's Row is in the rotation, you know where we're going. We're going to the row, folks. I mean, that's just the only place that we can be going now. Everybody practices on this map. Everybody plays this map, and they're bringing it out now because it might be Q for Quarantine's only chance to reverse this. We're going to be going into halftime after this, and if they can start their foot off with this victory on King's Row going into the half, they might be able to turn the tides here against Joey Esports. But again, this is everybody's favorite map to play, so Joey Esports also ain't gonna be sleeping on this one either.
You're completely correct. This is everybody's map, but a caster can hope, Captain Jack.
I mean, I do all the time, and the only time that I get to see it is stage 2 here in the Tranquility community. I get 3 weeks free of King's Row every time, and I take up as many casting spots as I can because it's the only time I get away from it. Anywhere else, it's just there. It's just there. But you know, it's going to be interesting, right? Because like we talk about a lot, you know, just because we've been seeing the rush over and over again doesn't mean that there aren't other plans for this map. Yes, the Brawl is the strongest version of comp on this map specifically, but it's so versatile that you can run the double sniper, you can run the far echo, you know, get up in the sky and really kind of poke at him at a distance. You can run that double shield. There's just so many different compositions you could see coming out here, but and it looks like they might be. No, of course they're not. Why do I keep getting baited like that?
I mean, you're right. This is everybody's favorite map, but I'm a little surprised because Joey Esports has a strong Brawl coming along where when we've seen these teams match comps, they're really coming ahead and getting those picks needed. But we are seeing a bit of a role swap coming along where we will not be seeing QZ on the May. We'll actually see them on the Diva instead, with Gilroy coming along.
You know, I would actually be more scared at this time, Tropic. I know you may not know, but actually, Kilroy, that's not just the name, that's exactly what he's going to be doing to this enemy team if they're not careful. But both Immortalities already out of the fight. They gotta hope that Kilroy might be a little rusty, and already the double kill comes in. Phone, though, popping off like a DPS, unhinged right now as Asdo finds Chef after the DMAC. And despite the tanks being down, if they can regroup fast enough, they might be able to take this.
You're correct, Captain Jack. Kilroy did just really come in strong right there, and Asdo's May is as strong as QZ with getting a kill immediately, and it looks like they will not be fast enough with Joey Esports having that full team to really combat this push that they're trying to make right now.
That was the quietest couple of seconds I've ever seen right there as they waited for that Ant Matrix to come out, and now they're going to return it with one of their own there for Glitch. But come on, Frosty, get behind it! Oh, that's going to go to waste. They're just going to zone him out with this Deadeye. Go ahead, give him the first tick. That's what they're waiting for, and here we go. Deadeye coming out now. That Maywall trying to separate, but gets sped around. Oh! But there's the Blizzard looking to clean it all up. Immortality comes down in the Nook, finds Asdo amidst the chaos. Now the beat coming in from the Nook. Scatter Shatter coming out, misses them all, and now a counter Shatter. There onto Louise, gets pinned against the wall, but it's too late! They captured the objective. No one from Joey Esports was there to keep contesting it, and they're gonna keep trying to fight this out, but I hate to say it, even if they end up picking off all these remaining stragglers, it's not gonna be enough for them to hold the cart where it is.
Yeah, the damage has already been done. I like the sustain that came along, but it just, the priority of the point just wasn't there in time. And as we are seeing, the barrage of ults just continues to go as they're trying here. But Captain Jack, I really want to show Esports to regroup right now. They don't have the spawn advantage. This fight almost looks like it's in Q for Quarantine's advantage, especially with that pick that they just came up with.
You know what? I gotta be honest with you there, Tropic. I think it's all about the advantage of time right now. They're trying to waste as much time as possible because they know that they were down on numbers. So as long as they can keep that card from moving, they're gonna go ahead and lock that down. Look at that, another 20 seconds shaved off that time bank as we continue to see it still. It's shaving another 25 off of that time bank. And they're going to give up a good portion of the streets, but now it's going to be more in their advantage come this next turn.
That is definitely right, and I do want to say phone had the B. Not sure if it was a fat thumb or something, but B is no longer there. So that's going to be, I'm sure that they were potentially going to use that as a defensive ball for these coming in, so that'll be pretty unfortunate, but hopefully Q for Quarantine will take advantage of that.
Let's see if they do. They have it online, and the Matrix is already out as we see the rotation coming in. Louise does find phone, and let's see if Kilroy can indeed get them to phone home. Can't get it around the Maywall fast enough without that speed boost. Hits hard for McCree nowadays, folks. The B comes in from the Nook, and now they got to clean this up. They got to get in there and do the damage. They got to swing the hammers, shoot the bullets, all that they need to do. The D-Mech ends up coming in, but Kilroy does find the Nook amid the chaos. Asdo with the follow-up on Louise, but I think it's too little too late. Asdo's going to try to hold on as long as a lone May can, but that's going to be objective. Bravo captured. Another minute and a half added to it, almost 4 full minutes as they head into the Foundry.
Yeah, Q for Quarantine is really welting this payload right now. They have Joey Esports, though they have burned some time down, Q for Quarantine are really putting up a fight right now and are showing Joey Esports that they are here for a true fight for the win or the move on to grand finals. But the
Louise gets canceled out of the shatter due to the blizzard, and now the picks are gonna start coming in. They end up getting the D-Mech, and there it is, the finalization on that mini diva head right there as Kilroy clicks it down. That's gonna shave a minute off that time bank, though. Hope it was worth it.
Gonna shave a minute down, but defense really has the advantage coming alongside here. They're able to play this corner right now, easily rotate back, and play once again in cover corner. And that's looking really rough though for Luis.
That was an interesting position of a window as well. I can't say that I was kind of surprised by the way that came in, but with Glitch already out of the fight, they're just going to go ahead and clean this up. There it is, Kilroy. I'm going to go ahead and take that other cowboy off the field. Only room for one here on Kings Row as they hit the 2-minute, 30-second mark.
Whew, yeah, they have burned down quite a bit of time coming alongside, but Q for Quarantine have these ultimates that could be the win conditions that they need right now if they're able to play it right. That pick on the Kilroy as well as with that use of Deadeye is really looking well for them right now.
Ooh, the zoning comes in. QZ ends up finding all of the Deadeye right there as the Immortality field goes down to the Re-Mech bomb, but they have separated out Jeffbot from the rest of the team, and there comes the Blizzard, the only one that might get caught in it. Oh, QZ gets found in it as well, gets looped back into it and taken down out of Mech, and now is in that mini diva form just trying to survive right now, but Frosty finds that head once again. Minute 40 remaining on the clock as we head into final fight territory.
Yeah, and we have the ultimates coming online. Glitch starts it off, and the Immortality is the only thing trying to keep the team alive right now.
Oh my God! With the double boom! Is gonna be able to clean this up, finds both both supports with the boop and over a minute on the clock as the Deadeye zones out the objective. 1 minute 21 to be precise, as we go ahead and see Q for Quarantine do their full 3-point push and head on to the defense.
Wow, Nanook coming in with that important kill that really secured them that last point with quite a nice little timing alongside that. All 3 points, 121 for that potential next fight. And they have created this win condition for Joey Esports. Gotta make it all 3 points, hopefully with some time to spare as well to fight that over those overtime matches. But what a clean fight coming alongside for Q for Quarantine. They really forced out Joey Esports ultimates, had enough of their own with the damage they did, and really came out above in the ult rotation for that last fight.
That is absolutely true. As long as they can continue to rotate like they were, it's going to work out incredibly well for them. And it seems that no matter what continued to come out, they held on for those long fight engagements. Only, I believe, the first time were they taken off of this first point, and then the next one they were just able to zone it out. So the longer the fight goes, it seems to go more and more into Q for Quarantine's favor. But is Azdo? Is Azdo playing? No, okay. Baited again.
We can't get our hopes up. You
I'm
know
just
how
gonna cry. I'm just gonna cry in the corner. Dropping. You got this. You got this.
Oh man, the teams are looking to brawl it out here. And honestly, I'm looking for these walls right here, Jack. It's just a matter of time. What wall will come out? Whoa!
There's the wall. Is it enough? No, it's not going to be enough because the May wall is responded there by Azdo. Ends up keeping Jeffbot safe just for a little bit longer. The rotation comes in. The stun finds nothing but shield right there. Jeffbot falling incredibly low, and Frosty able to get him before the immortality field comes out, and Louise just gonna go in swinging away. Jeez Louise right now. They got that Shatter online. They've got that Matrix online, and they are set up for one heck of a hold here on Point Alpha.
Q for Quarantine is not gonna go down easy, as they just displayed in that illustration right there with what's such a clean fight. Just knowing that Jeffbot, they were able to just push on with the nuke speed, and there it is, starting it off with glitches, window, and it does get a victim with phone.
All right. The question is, are they going to continue to move in on it? Maywall comes up to interrupt the damage coming out from the side of Q for Quarantine through that window. But it looks like this Shatter might be utilized shortly. A Meow using the Blizzard in the altar where it's everywhere. It's frozen blood and parts everywhere. His Meow just sets the alders with on fire, separating out QZ on this Diva. Takes him out with a punch, and that's 2 minutes off that clock.
2 minutes off the clock, and just what a great rotation coming along the side of Meow MC. Really just getting such value out of that Blizzard, and just Joey Esports does have the resources to do this right now, as they're going to try to get out.
Blizzard comes in, as does the beat, to try to save the team before it comes in. Louise runs over the supports, finds Jeffbot with the hammer, and is literally taking all of Joey Esports to space right now as they are looking to lock down this objective. But uh-oh.
You know, that was quite a bit of balls that Q for Quarantine used, and
Do they know?
QZ is looking to make a play right now, Captain Jack.
I don't think they know. I
They
don't
don't.
think they know! Surprise! Gets the supports! Takes down the support! Surprise Diva Bomb as Azdo swamps on over to the Doomfist, and oh goodness gracious, great balls of fire as Azdo dives on in with the help of phone. They're gonna go ahead and clean up Objective Alpha, lock it down for Joey Esports, and take it to the streets.
Oh my god! That bomb coming in from QZ! You told me that. You said you were even more scared for Q for Quarantine, and now I understand why.
Yep.
did they clean that up so quickly, but they are taking the space right now. They have the ultimates to continue forward, but Q from Quarantine is not going to bow down easily as the windows come out.
All right, Asdo does find Frosty in the backline, but gets traded. Shatter coming out amidst the immortality field. Louise ends up finding their home back in spawn, but Jeff getting some cleanup there as well. They gotta keep clicking heads if they want to keep pushing this payload forward, because it's an even 4v4 right now. But now with Meow MC out of the fight, they really need to be pulling back. They don't have that zone ability that they had before. And wow, look at Joey Esports. They are just pushing it all the way to the Foundry doors.
Ooh, yeah, they are really taking this space up, and this is really great. That's because they recognize that coming into this fight, if they don't win it, they're looking at an unfortunate spawn for that next fight.
That's absolutely true. They really got to be locking this down. And Asdo gets found on that high ground. The remake takes down the immortality. And now it's going to be theirs to clean up. Deathbot's out. That Doomfist of Asdo is out. And the self-destruct finds it over the top. Able to get the DMAC. Kilroy does end up finding Louise amidst the confusion. But that's it. They're going to lock down this objective once again and still have ultimates to spare.
Yeah, they have plenty of ultimates to spare right now. And what an unfortunate dagger for Jeff! Oh. And that just eats up more and more time as they're just burning time and creating this potential last fight territory coming up. I mean, Jack, they have potentially 2 fights coming in, and so they have to really be careful with what ultimates they're going to use this round, because if they're without any resources for that last fight, that can definitely spell trouble.
That's absolutely true, and they gotta wait for those ultimates coming in as well. Louise finds True Donger. Main heals out of the fight, and the main tank out of that fight. That dry push was all they needed. Gets that immortality out, or gets that Amp Matrix out of the way. But will it be enough? That's all we ended up seeing invested. Louise getting ready to come up on that shatter too, so one ultimate just replaces another.
Yeah, last fight territory, Joey Esports needs picks, or that's going to spell the end for them. If Q for Quarantine gets if they get a pick on the glitch or Luis, that is going to be rough.
All right, they're back in position. 30 seconds on the clock. The cheeks are puckered, and they're ready to take it away. Shatter coming in finds only Louise as Frosty looking to get this cleanup on Asdo. Does end up finding them in the back line. Phone does get that trade though, so QV sends the bomb deep and it pays off in dividends. Overtime getting ready to start ticking away. They gotta keep cleaning up this objective, keep them from touching this objective once again. And there we go, the payload's gonna move forward, and I don't think there's anything they can do. They're gonna lock this down and add a minute and a half to that clock, so at very least, we're going to see possibly a lower time bank that'll be in Q for Quarantine's favor.
Yeah, 100%. And it looks like Asto will be opting to switch onto this Hanzo for this last point, which surprises me since they have got so much value with that main wall. But Kilroy does pop that Deadeye, and if he gets a pick, that can be the momentum that they need.
Kilroy, they have families, fam. With that double kill, just everyone standing behind it, and Jeff had to keep that DM out the whole time. They had no choice, because you never know when they were going to start pulling that trigger. And here comes the beat to try to zone him out, but the LMC has the blizzard to clean it up. It is a frozen wasteland on this objective right now as they go ahead and lock this down. The self-destruct finds nothing but True Donger's immortality field. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I'm old dad, alright? I have brain parts out of the yin-yang, but 15 seconds on the clock. They gotta get in and touch, and they gotta turn this thing around, and they don't have anything in the pocket.
They don't have anything, and Asto goes to that May. That could be the win condition if they get that May wall, that wall.
They will link a stand up to that Matrix, and here comes the Deadeye. QZ trying to hold it together, but finds Jetbot through the Matrix. QZ gets deleted, not able to hold it up long enough, and the Nook is just going to speed everybody around. The only one left on the objective is poor Asdo, and as soon as they come out of that icicle, they're going to get taken down. Luis just going to victory charge into the enemy spawn as Q for Quarantine stirred the flames are burning. They're flaming up those embers, and they're trying to get a spark lit as they bring it now 2-1. Still in favor of Joey Esports.
Still in favor of Joey Esports, but Nanook. Nanook, you know, typically we do not get any boop action, or it's not the popular one is Ilios, but Nanook getting that boop only
This beautiful dive.
on King's Row.
Beautiful dive there. Woo, boy.
It just really making a statement right now. They are not going down easy. They have made it this far for a reason, and they took a map off Joey Esports, so the sky's the limit at that point. We could potentially see a reverse sweep.
That's absolutely true, Tropic, and I would imagine that some people might be getting mad here in a little bit about their stonks. I think people putting a lot of love into Joey Esports. I said don't sleep on him. I also did not say sleep on Q for Quarantine too, so I hope you're diversifying your stonks there, folks. But we're going to go ahead and send it to a quick 10-minute break. Do all the things that you need to do during this halftime, especially inviting some more people over to watch. Remember, next week is the grand finals, so this is going to be the last match that you are going to get to see that really decides who those Titans are going to be at the end of the day. Will Joey Esports start off this second half and just sweep them right under the rug, or Q for Quarantine gonna lock this absolutely down like indeed a quarantine? We'll be back soon with more Tranquility action. Welcome back to Overwatch Tranquility, folks, where I smell smoke. There might be a barn burning tonight, and I do not know if that indeed will be the case. We're getting ready to find out, because currently Joey Esports is sitting up 2-1 against Q for Quarantine. Q for Quarantine able to bring it back on King's Row, and as you know, everybody do love the row. But now we're going to be heading to the best place to get your kicks, Route 66. And will Q for Quarantine continue to hold Tropic? That is the question now.
We will see. We saw what they're up against right now. QZ is doing insane work, even if they are swapped and Kilroy comes in. It is pretty insane, but Q for Q, I gotta make my own apology. At the beginning of King's Row, I mentioned, Joey Esports having a really strong brawl. They were really coming ahead up in those brawl when we were going match to match. Sorry, Q for Quarantine. You are making a statement right now. You are coming in strong with your own Rush Brawl comp and Route 66. Captain Jack, we could even see a close hold spawn right now. Which, it's all about burning time, especially for that first, getting that first point.
Yep, where there's smoke, there's fire, folks. And now it's really going to be up to Q for Quarantine to be able to continue this momentum now, because I feel like if Joey Esports gets another foothold, they're just going to end up stomping them out right now, because after this, we're heading back to Control, and Joey was seeing him pretty dominant on our first Control map, Lijiang Tower. So now it's really going to be up to them to see if they can lock this down. And I mean, one of the carries that we have been seeing is Nanook right now. It seems that any place that you can possibly boop someone, that's where Nanook is, and Nanook is sending people over the side in body bag. Like, that just seems to be the case here right now. So the question is Route 66 going to be that best place to work out? And again, we're on a map that we could see a lot of diversity when it comes to composition.
I mean, can I just say, our 3 play of the games have been Lucio, so there is a bloodthirst in both of these support lines, and I like what I'm seeing coming in from Joey Esports. I'm not going to come on the attack side yet, because they could definitely swap it on me, but they are 100% looking to hold up here in this train car. They are looking to burn out as much time from Q for Quarantine, and we will see if they know how to handle this, and or if Joey Esports will come out on top and burn down that time.
Joey, what are you doing? What are you doing? They're looking for the spawn hold. They're not going to give them any room to grow right here. Meow, currently on that Echo, looking to burn this down, does find the ammo, and going to be coming out with this double bubble composition. The pick's coming in as we see Quarantine wiping down this objective, pick after pick coming in, and Meow is just melting. The claws are out, and Q for Quarantine not gonna let a good old train stall hold them up.
Not. They are coming him. They're gonna take the momentum that they have created and hit the iron. Well, it is hot, and we even have some ultimates coming online. And the Nook, we talked about him, and he has that rally that could really prove to be that aggressive green light that they need to really poke out and rush this rush comp that's coming in on them. Oh no!
True Donger, what are you doing? Or what are you doing back there, Chef? I mean, but True Donger also finds an anti-nade amidst the chaos, so main heals and off support for either side out of the fight right now as Asdo taking control of the backline, but Meow doesn't even care. Just gonna keep pushing the payload because nobody's on it. I mean, just gonna keep creating space right there, and is gonna send Phone home right there as they clean it up. True Donger back in the fight though, able to get that initial pick, but it's not gonna be worth it. Now up to 5 minutes on this time bank as Objective Alpha is capped.
Yeah, that definitely seemed like they were in the wrong. They had the right idea, taking down the main support, the main healer in that, but they didn't pay attention to the payload. And in that, you know, Q for Quarantine really turned their backs, got those kills that they needed to, and they're waltzing this through. 4:30 on the clock as the dupe comes out, trying to keep the momentum up.
All right, here we come. The duplicate diva coming in for Meow. They just got to clean up this objective as quickly as they can. Not even going to get the full value of the self-destruct. Does end up finding it in the end as they clean up Asdo, but Kilroy able to get the click on the back of the head as Jeffbot finds Frosty as well. Frosty indeed, as they go ahead and lock down this objective, and Q for Quarantine got a little time off that bank.
Got a little bit of time off that bank, and I was hoping that we potentially would be there'd be a cheeky self-defense matrix squash, but no, that will not be it. But Frosty is definitely looking to take this angle and this poke, and potentially to use his Deadeye.
That's true. We got dueling Deadeyes here right now as we see Asdo swap it over to the Soldier 76, looking to see if they can lock it down. Kilroy in the back line, just riding on the ground. Kilroy was here to take away your back line, and that's exactly what they ended up doing. That's another 40 seconds shaved off of that time bank as we see Joey Esports hold the bridge.
You know, Meow MC was doing a great job at really putting pressure from above, but Joey Esports really countering that with the taking out the double hit scans, making them change to this May. So now they're definitely look to do exactly what they did in King's Row and wall off and kill and rush onto this comp right now.
All right, the high noon comes out from Frosty, but the boops come in and keep them away. Self-destruct from QZ does find Frosty in the end, and we're seeing the earning of that attack visor coming in for Asdo as they sit on that high ground pretty much uncontested by the rest of Q for Quarantine.
Q for Quarantine really utilized a lot in that fight right now. They're not looking at any ultimates for this next fight, so this is definitely going to be a dry push where Joey Esports have the ultimates to control this tempo coming up.
All right, now we see the Amp Matrix utilized by True Donger, looking to feed out some healing and try to keep the team alive, but with that DMAC onto Chef, that is really going to make them pay. Flashbang finds Phone there on the side, and they're going to continue to clean up this objective. Kilroy's got the Deadeye online once again. Will this be one of those rare second point holds?
What Q for needs to do is take back this high ground. So Kilroy are just going ham on this high ground uncontested and getting the necessary kills that they need to keep this dominance in this tempo. And here it is once again, another Deadeye and another pick on Frosty.
Once again, they end up finding the picks with those Deadeyes. That Peacekeeper is putting in work right now. Kilroy was not happy as to how that last map, Kings Road, turned out. And Asdo got the tack visor online and is getting ready to put Q for Quarantine in their sights.
Giving Q for Quarantine any room to breathe right now, any room to get these ultimates that they need in these mid fights. Joey Esports have been on top of these ult rotations, and once again starting off with this powerful amplification matrix.
All right, the Am Matrix comes out once again, and the Tac Visor looking to try to go in the back line, but is getting run down by the rest of Q for Quarantine. Shatter coming out in the back line, gets counter-tackled as Asdo does find Louise amidst the chaos. There's the Blizzard. That's the space they need. They wasted time, but it's not going to be enough. Phone ends up sending Glitch back to the spawn as well, but it looks like they've got enough to be able to continue to keep this going. The self-destruct coming in from QZ ends up just heading into that side room, and fat finger from Louise, you know it, as the self-destruct comes out for Chef, does get that clean up and locks down this objective again. As we get ready to head into overtime, it looks like Q for Quarantine will finally grab objective Bravo.
For the second point, I don't think that they will touch.
Yep,
nope, they will not touch. So we're heading into a probably more or less, we see the brawls coming on right now. It is which team will rush into the other right now, and Joey's Q for Quarantine is looking really great with the ultimates going online.
All right, here we go. Glitch working their way onto that high ground to see if they can go ahead and keep the momentum of this fight going as Louise does find True Donger once again in the backline. Immortality comes out trying to save the day, and Nook just waiting to drop that beat and keep things going. Frosty ends up finding Asdo there in the end, and the cleanup onto QZ will get that follow-up as well. But now they're down to 50 seconds, and they gotta get it into that objective if they hope to come back with any sort of time.
They have that could win them this, but it's all up to Joey Esports if they're going to be able to sustain what is coming up and get the, they need a leg up right now. They need a pick right now to keep this game in their territory. Oh, that doesn't look good. Jack.
That's not a good way to start things off. Getting your main tag out of the fight. Deadeye coming out, finds the double onto Asdo and True Donger, but where's that Deadeye? Out from Kilroy, it's on the high ground, gonna get hunted down, and Chef is gonna serve him up a full dinner. There comes the Blizzard out, locking down this objective as they go ahead and push on in with 7.1 seconds remaining on the clock.
Wow. Q for Quarantine looking really strong throughout the whole duration of that. Actually, I correct myself. They were looking a little, it was looking in Joey Esports side on that second phase, but when the pressure is on, they really get the picks that they need to continue on. When they need to clutch it out, it seems like they are coming up on top. Joey Esports might be really consistent in their play, but it could be that these clutch moments could be what really works out in the favor of Q for Quarantine right now.
Yeah, Q for Quarantine having a difficult time during this second area, so it's really going to be up to them to try to lock down the first, and it looks like Joey Esports have been fiddling around with changing up this composition. We saw the Soldier coming out there on second point, and then we saw the rotation, I believe, back to the May. I'm not exactly for certain. The third point was a pretty big rush, if you ask me. Yeah. And it looks really, what is with this train holding right here, folks? It's just as bad as just being outside of spawn and waving at them, and you just see them all crouched up.
Yeah, they might as well emote.
Yeah. Might as well emote and let them know you're there, because they're going to be expecting it. But the question is, Chef can't get in position right yet, and Asdo is like, "Hey, they're there," with the brief sonic arrow to go ahead and show them off. But oh man, are we gonna see SEAL Team Spud's rotation here and see them going on to the attack by the defense? I don't think that's gonna be the case. It looks like they are gonna be able to clean this up. The freeze coming in though does find Louise in the end. Big move on to QZ. I told you, Nanook, you gotta watch out for that Lucio, folks. And Kilroy is looking to clean up that backline as well still. Meow ends up finding their way back to spawn, and that payload gonna keep moving forward. Gotta be watching out for that flanking creep.
I'd say as equally of a success for that close hold as the last one, but Asdo and Kilroy have these ultimates coming up, which could spell, it could be really, really unfortunate for Q for Quarantine with this Blizzard. It is just such a powerful ult to really deny space, and if they're able to get it off, that could definitely be that potential first point or recognition they need.
That's true. Interesting little boop there, trying to send Chef into the enemy. See if they can get that cleaned up. The Deadeye is on the line as Glitch is found amidst the chaos on the objective, but Chef able to get the trade, and the Blizzard now looking to lock things down. True Donger on that high ground trying to hold it all together as we see the stun Louise and Nanook fall to the Peacekeeper of Kilroy. Triple kill as Chef gets added to the kill feed. And that's already 2 minutes off the clock, and they might be able to lock down this point.
Already 2 minutes off the clock, and it doesn't look like they're going to have enough time to potentially touch. It looks like Nanook will... it's all to him if they're going to touch, but no, they're going to keep it on, especially since they have all these ultimates to control this next tempo of the fight. Though Joey Esports does cap with just under 4:30 on the clock with their own ultimates as well.
30 seconds less on the clock, but there is a big difference between the well, actually, no, not a big difference, to be completely honest with you. Once this gets earned up, we're going to be seeing a 6v5 in Ultimates. It's not Q for Quarantine, it's Q for Ultimates coming in. The Gravitic Flux coming in. Deadeye now coming out for Frosty, trying to find someone, anyone. QZ tries to rock it out, but Chef ends up taking it to the face. Oh, it's raised up in the air, and the value doesn't come out from the shatter. It's Q after Q after Q, but the Quarantine is not holding strong right now. Asdo zoning out Louise, getting the cleanup onto Chef, and that is it. Everything that Q for Quarantine tried to throw at them, it was just not enough. And that payload's going to keep moving forward.
Oh man, what was that? Like almost 4 ultimates coming online, and in the middle of that fight, Joey Esports was able to even get Asso back to that Blizzard almost, and halfway from that Flux. Looks like Q for Quarantine is going to try to hold this with Meow MC. They have to get a big Blizzard.
There it is. Big Blizzard. I don't know why Louise was trying to tackle off top of Jeff Bot's head like that, but you know, to each their own. Asdo able to get the pick there onto phone, but I hate to say it, Asdo, you just wasted that Blizzard, fam. The damage was already done, and you might be able to survive in this room for just a little bit. Wait, what? Okay. I was actually about to be really surprised if we ended up seeing Asdo turning that around as the solo May, as we ended up seeing Phone just being a distracted Lucio right there. But wow, able to take it back with a single Blizzard, and already Meow MC is already in the lead for the next one.
Yeah, already in the lead, and this Flux could spell potential devastation, but no, Meow MC once again gets the first pick, and wow, Frosty, the Deadeye to follow.
Yeah, Phone ends up falling off of that high ground where the immortality was, or was just peeking their head out just enough to get taken off by Frosty there. With 2 minutes remaining on the clock, it's really going to be up to Joey Esports to find a quick rotation.
That is one quick rotation, Captain Jack.
Oh, and now the turns have tabled, as we go ahead and see the Amp Matrix now on the defending side for Joey Esports. You know, they figured at this point that they had tried so hard to be on the attacking side, and the defense went so well for them on this point. So they're like, okay, we're gonna take the defense from y'all right now, and then we'll give it back. Okay, now you can have it back, and we're gonna cap the objective.
They were like, we need to pretend we were in the defensive mindset because we were doing well. And they're not even gonna allow, not enough time for Q for Quarantine to touch, so a little bit of a minute more than what Q for Quarantine had, but coming into this, it looks like Q for Quarantine have more ultimates that could really spell out the control, or give them that advantage that they need right now.
That's absolutely true, Louise. Watch that fat finger, fam. You don't want to do it again. There's been a lot of shatters getting whiffed right here. Does end up finding Jeffbot with the help of Frosty right there as they try to hold everything together. Shatter! Just barely into QZ's shield. Oh, God. Just give Louise a little bit of space. No, of course, Joey Esports can't allow that to happen. They're not going to win otherwise right there. But minute 45, and we might be heading into Final Fight territory.
Definitely, it looks like we are going to be heading to Final Fight territory, and Joey Esports have the ultimates that they need, but they cannot use them all at one time. We need to see these combinations and this take of ult tempo, especially since Meow MC has that Blizzard, and we have seen devastating Blizzard from them.
Ooh, immortality and the shield hold together regardless of the damage that comes in from the Gravitic. Shatter comes in a huge, but Jeffbot, how did you miss? I don't know how you missed. The May was right in front proud of you, but you know what? I feel it. It happens to me all the time. But they're getting the picks regardless. They're cleaning it up. The Deadeye trying to find anyone, but it's not gonna be enough. And now the Blizzard in for Asdo. They're under a minute. They're looking to tie up this time bank as MC now in on the Doomfist will carry this match on their big fist if they have to, but the cleanup continues to come in. Jeffbot with the double and Asdo taking down Frosty on that Tracer. Might be enough to hold this all together. Here comes Chef on that Diva diving in. The spawn's right there. They just got to keep it going. Keep that clock a-ticking. The closer they can get it, the better they are, the better position they are in. 18 seconds remaining on the clock right now is Gilroy trying to find anyone on the side. Clicking heads, MC trying to hold it together. 5-second difference as Joey Esports locks down Objective 3 in the warehouse.
Wow, that was such a typically. It was just such a clean cleanup from Joey Esports that I'm stumbling on my words. You know, Q for quarantine. Their goal was to stall it out as fast as much as they can.
No.
But it looks like there will be a pause instead. Joey Esports loses the player, probably a reset, but thankfully it is in this, lull phase that we have the time to, pause for a moment, let them reset, let them do what they need. But right now, Capjack, do you think that, and actually, I'm 100% certain that we will see the train track again, the train hold, this close spawn hold in the train cart. Neither team has really had much success, I gotta say. Curious if maybe it just takes a second time. Maybe we will see a little bit more success on one of them.
That could be possible, but while we have a little bit of room to breathe, as you know, Discord has not been our friend tonight when it comes to audio, so we apologize. As always, #BlameBard in the chat, folks. We're going to send it to a quick break and bring it back right before things get started, so hopefully we can get that audio figured out and bring you some more amazing Overwatch action. All right, welcome back, folks. Hopefully we've got that all figured out and cleared up. We do have True Donger back in the fight, as well as hopefully our caster mic situation figured out, and we're going to get back into this match here on Route 66. 5 seconds separates out both teams. Joey Esports with that extra 5 seconds. I don't know what good it will do them, but we will get ready to find out here as we go ahead and see once again Q for Quarantine take to the attack.
I mean, we've definitely seen Overwatch just change within a matter of seconds with a clutch ultimate, a clutch ability, a clutch pick. So those 5 seconds could be quite precious. And
Mhm.
it doesn't actually look like they will be holding close at all. They have given up on that idea. Tried it the first time. We're going to go for just playing this corner,
Nope.
which could. Oh, never mind. You know what? I just shouldn't talk. I just shouldn't talk.
We always get baited. I hate to say it, Tropic, but we always be getting baited. Interesting hold position though. You usually see the big Earls that you were hinting at right there, which I've always thought, why? Why would you hold big Earls, to be completely
Yeah.
honest with you? But I'm a plat brain. What do I know? And here they go. Oh, the rush comes out, and it looks like the LMC was ready for him because all they do is get a big old face of sticky mines already. Have to use that immortality field, and already the team is falling incredibly low. Meow MC is already halfway to the duplicate.
Wow.
We've only been playing this for 20 seconds, folks, but you got to get those ultimates fast because they got to be able to push this as far as they can. This is going to be the overtime push, and already the first ultimate finds itself on the field 40 seconds into the fight, and has to find the FMC with that icicle pick. We're going down to the final 10 seconds, and Joey Esports trying to clean this up, trying to hold this payload at this 29-meter mark, trying to slow down these picks just enough to keep it all together. And it looks like
Oh, the wall!
stick away, trying to see if they can get to it, but no, they cannot.
They cannot, and Meow MC wasn't even able to use their ultimate. That you could tell how much they wanted to get to that point, and I wish that they would have just went Lucio and sped. How unfortunate, how frustrating that must be. And look at where this card is right now. It is very close. That's going to be a really hard defense coming in, especially since the spawn advantage is in the attacking side.
That's absolutely true, but I will say, if they do decide to do that train strat again, it worked out a little bit better for Q for Quarantine this time around, and they're not putting anything to chance. They're gonna, instead of bringing out the McCree, they're gonna bring out the double akimbo pistol edgelord here, Frosty on that Reaper. So they're looking to shred Joey Esports as quickly as they can. Doesn't matter if the ground is covered with parts, as long as that payload doesn't get to that 29.24 meter mark, they're going to be able to walk away with this victory. But I tell you, I'm on the edge of my seat, Tropic.
Me too. I really like where they're holding right now. Allows them to just get that poke damage, try to get that close hold damage, but also allowing them to rotate behind that corner. Really, it's a matter of who is going to get those ultimates up first. And Q for Quarantine have been playing a great rush comp coming in with this Brawl. And this Reaper really...
Oh, no! Separation already comes out as we see Frosty able to get that immortality field all of the way, and the first pick comes in onto Jeffbot, but the trade comes in. Glitch is down, and now QZ is in the back line. Frosty trying to hold together, does end up finding QZ in the end, but they lose Meow as well. And again, the spawn advantage is in the attacking side's favor. And remember, they staggered out those kills in the beginning, and Phone is sending everybody home. They're done. They don't want them here anymore. And Joey Esports walks away with the victory here on Route 66.
Wow. That Joey Esports really just showing how much they wanted here. There it is, Asso with one of those blizzards that really just kept this momentum that Joey Esports has, and they are now at match point.
That's absolutely true. The Edge Lord has now brought the edge of this area. Q for Quarantine could find themselves eliminated going into this next match if they are not able to pull out their brooms and start sweeping Joey Esports right out of this door. Start blowing up that chat, folks. Do you want to see Joey Esports just lock down this dub, make it just 6, map losses going into the grand finals, or do you believe in the underdog story? Do you believe in the fact that Q for Quarantine can bring it back and show Joey Esports that they are not a team to be trifled with?
I mean, last match point, or excuse me, last where it was, Kings Row was Joey Esports was really looking and having that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Q for Quarantine came in, swiped up Kings Row, but we were talking about it during the break, Captain Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Esports really can seem to dominate those control maps, but first map is always kind of nerves are there. You have just different aspects of it, so this could totally be in. The players, this could totally be up to both teams. Players have been warmed up. We're going to Ilios. Could
Ooh.
some success for Q for Quarantine and Nanook.
Yeah, I think
boops. The boops, the Nanook boops.
Nanook do be booping. I can just see their mouth watering right
Yes.
now, salivating over the amount of boops that they can get on Well and on Lighthouse. Shoot, even on Ruins, if you're not careful with your positioning on that map as well. So Nanook can definitely be locking a lot of those down. If Joey Esports ends up sleeping on Nanook and the rest of Q for Quarantine, we could see them turning this around once again. So I'm going to be really excited to see what ends up happening here, Tropic. I think that this is a great map for kind of evening things out, because we expect to see the continued use of the rush right here. But if you're squirrely enough, if you're a little crazy enough, you could end up going for all boops all the time. And I mean, boops do the work for you, right? You get that nice pull, you get that nice hook, you send them to the bottom of the well or off the side of the lighthouse, and you don't have to shoot them anymore. You don't even have to worry about their presence. They're already back in spawn before you even know it. So it's going to be interesting to see what they end up coming out here. Are they going to continue to match this Rush v Rush, or do one of these teams have something else up their sleeve?
I'm a little curious. I'm curious what map we will see first on Ilios. I'm actually hoping for Well. Give me Well, but no, we will get the
so close.
Lighthouse instead. And I actually, Asso is on that Echo right now, and I'm kind of thinking that we might see some Echoes, some Sky Forces coming along. And I mean, Meow MC had a lot of success for some of those mid fights on until we got the counters on the hit scan. But give me some Sky Force here. Give me some mercy.
We indeed will see if that will be the case. Lighthouse definitely lends a lot to those, and if you watch any high level Overwatch play, Echo and Pharah can be incredibly dominant on this map. This honestly brings me back to when I was casting EU Open Division back in March, and just seeing a certain Pharah player of a certain Middle Eastern team just essentially fly through the objective with the greatest of ease and just obliterate the enemy team on Pharah without a scratch. So it doesn't look like they're going to utilize that. They're going to go with the tried and true with that Symmetra, but still should be interesting.
But Asso was on this Doomfist, and Doomfist, I mean, Doomfist is one of those characters that if you go in at that right angle, that can be a pick off the bat.
And Asdo's getting ready, getting that punch lined up. They're looking for it, just getting ready for that charge into the side area. But already we see Q for Quarantine set up on that objective. Those turrets are up, and it looks like right now they're just waiting for Asdo to get that initial pick.
I mean, when you see the two Symmetras, it's all about getting to the point first. And Joey Esports just didn't utilize that teleporter as I thought they would, but it looks like they are really setting up for a dive here and taking all sides and coming in with a force Captain Jack.
Goodness gracious, spray balls of fire, Jeffbot tackling in there. They take the three-pronged approach, and Joey Esports just cleans up the objective. They give away 25%, but you know what? As you see it right there, well played, Q for Quarantine, but not good enough.
It was like they gave them a little bit of hope, and then they just came in and all sides. What a beautiful coordinated play coming in, and they have the ultimates to fight this next round, almost matching that 26% that Cubic Quarantine got. But Luis has the ultimate coming online. He does get the kill, Captain Jack. Can he land the shatter this time around?
That is true. The shatter comes out, does seem to find somebody. You know, didn't have Louise or Chef in the way this time around, so didn't have to worry about that one. And it looks like now we see Meow MC swapping over to that Doomfist as well. QZ is off the objective, sends Glitch right into the side. Asdo with the cleanup as well, and Jeffbot ends up finding a shatter of their own onto Louise with their pants down. Despite the picks, we still see Joey Esports holding this objective.
Wow, yeah, they came really close. They got some of those picks that they needed, but it just wasn't enough. Joey Esports really held on to that point throughout that whole duration and got the picks needed to secure this, as well as these ultimates to keep this tempo in their favor right now. And they're attacking on this high ground with Asto starting off.
All right, we see the meteor start coming in, gets nothing but immortality, and Meow MC says, no, I ain't allowing those shenanigans anymore. Not gonna happen. But with that immortality out of the fight, that might not bode well for them, as they now have to clean up this objective with this big old barrier in the way. Meow MC trying to see if they can end up finding True Donger, just barely keeps missing them, and the window comes out. True Donger starts cleaning it up, grabs the double kill, and Kilroy just gonna go ahead and set it up once again, and Bone getting that good old boop kill. That's gonna go ahead and lock down this objective 100-26. As Joey Esports draws the line in the sand, saying, do not cross, do not pass go, do not collect $200. We're taking it to the grand final.
Can we just talk about True Donk and how they were on a sliver of health and got two before they died? What a true bloodthirsty support, really making a statement as we're on the boop map itself. Well, now Nanook, we have seen him boop consistently. I want to say he has booped one person up on every map we have seen today, Captain Jack. This is now the map. Will this be the map that they need to have to bring him back and we see a map 3?
I saw Louise playing around with that hog, and I hate to say it, but the double opting that doesn't really work well, to be completely honest with you. So good thing that they shifted back over to that, but you're absolutely right. If the Nook's gonna pop off, it's not gonna be right now, because they got fire strike right to the face. And Asdo in that back. Wow! Cancels the charge and sends Louise right. Well, actually, they ladder against the wall of the well, but end up finding themselves in the bottom of it, a hole-in-one, if you will, as Joey Esports takes control of the objective.
They've made a statement, and Cuban Quarantine is responding with their own swap to this pharmacy, their own boop, and we are not going to see Nanook on that Lucio. We are actually going to see the pharmacy, which could spell out success for them. There is no hit scans in the midst of Joey Esports right now, not even a diva.
That's absolutely true, and there's that first pick. Meow finds Asno, and they give up the ultimate percentage. QZ does find Glitch amid the chaos, and a shatter comes in from Jeffbot, looking to clean it all up, but only able to get a couple. Louise with a cheeky dive ends up grabbing the double as well, and the res comes back in for Chef as Control swaps over to Q for Quarantine.
Control swaps, we have ultimates coming online, and this could spell out success right now. They are forcing Asto to swap to the McCree, but Captain Jack, it is a 2-to-1 battle. They have the support needed with the Nook on that Mercy, where Asto doesn't have that pocket, so it could spell out it could be a struggle coming in.
Doesn't have the pocket, but at least this time around.
Wow.
Okay, phone.
Well, excuse me.
Okay,
excuse
phone.
me.
all right, the bleach of Discord here. All right, going to battle the Far Mercy where they are. Actually, QZ, Louise was actually going to hurt themselves by dropping straight into the well, but ends up getting saved thanks to QZ in that Primal Rage. Deadeye coming out, finds Phone in the minefield, finds QZ. QZ, and now they're just going to go ahead and clean up the rest. The percentage continuing to climb right now as Q for Quarantine are showing how infectious they can be.
Oh man, this is staying coming in from Q for Quarantine right now, really dominating this fight and forcing Joey Esports to swap off, which means they are not at all in the ultimate economy right now. They're swapping their whole team right now, which I'm not quite sure about that decision right now, Captain Jack. We are in last fight territory as we are getting 80% of the point cap for Q for Quarantine, and ultimates coming online for them.
That's true, but at the end of the day, they still have some room to breathe. They did grab first map, so that is going to work out well for them. Gravitic Flux coming out for Chef, but the cleanup is already coming in that backline. Asdo just clicking head after head after head right now as QZ on that Zarya is already supercharged. That's going to be a cleanup of the objective as Joey Esports retakes control at the 99% mark.
You know, they might have not had ults that time around, or in that beginning of the fight, but they definitely have ults to protect them and keep this point in their favor. Q for Quarantine have those same ults, and they just need one clean fight coming alongside, and that is not going to spell success for them as the first pick goes to Asto right now. Wow.
Asdo, not a fan of Meow MC on that Tracer as well, saying, no, you're not allowed to copy me. That's not allowed. We're not going to allow that to happen. But Frosty, coming up on that Deadeye, could indeed be a Frosty one if they find the right angle into this objective. Jeffbot gets stunned out and will get picked by Louise, but a big ol' anti-nade is keeping Frost and Chef at bay, but now the Transcendence comes out from Glitch. Might be a little too early. Nah, Pulse Bomb not timed correctly. Does get nothing but shield, but wouldn't have mattered anyway. Meow MC gets nothing but bubble as Kilroy ends up finding the double kill. Triple kill, just clicking head after head, and that bomb's getting ready to come online. They don't even get a Final Fight territory. They don't even get a chance to be able to bring this back. Nobody's gonna touch. And Joey Esports, the marsupial org, will leap into the grand finals, taking down Q for Quarantine 4-1 in our Discord tier matchup.
Wow, that's all I have to say right now, Captain Jack. Wow, they came in with the confidence of fully swapping, getting rid of any ultimates. It is last fight territory. We gotta swap. We have to make this change, and they got the kills that they need. And Kilroy taking that high ground, just wow. Just wow. Can't believe it.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, right? When you leave someone uncontested for too long, they can end up grabbing the advantage there. But Q for Quarantine, don't be upset. You all fought your hearts out to get here. The score really doesn't do it justice because these maps were incredibly close around the board. So I hope we will see you back in season 7, but for now we got to start talking about our players of the match for tonight. So go ahead and start blowing up that chat, folks, letting us know who you've been looking out for tonight. And Tropic, since it's your first night here, I'm gonna go ahead and let you do the honors of choosing your player of the match first.
Wow, you know, typically I would say QZ popped off on the off-tank role, the DPS role, getting what the necessary kills that they need. But I'm going to give it to True Donger, actually. True Donger really continued to he was the unsung hero, keeping the team alive, really being the glue that stuck that controlled aggression together, and really spelled out the success along with Phone with keeping the team alive. I mean, QZ wouldn't be able to be as aggressive and make those plays without the support line, keeping him alive and just enabling him to do what he does best and click those heads, get those picks, and really give Joey Esports the advantage throughout the whole match.
I definitely concur with you there. So I'm going to go ahead and take your honorable mention there. I'm going to pick QZ because it's very rare that we see, especially once we get this far into the tournament, someone flexing on rolls. That's not a normal thing that we see here. And no matter if they were on DPS or on the tank line, QZ was just lighting up the kill feed and keeping their team safe and sound from all harm come what may. It just didn't matter what was coming in. QZ was handling it as much as they possibly could, and they're going to need that as they go up against first seed Nya. Not your average academy over on the Indigo side next week in the grand final.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see that. Y'all don't want to miss it. Catch it next week, right? Next week, same time,
next week,
same place.
Same time, same bat channel, folks, right here at twitch.tv/OW Tranquility. We actually have one final match going on this week that isn't going to be live on Saturday, I believe, is the final for the Transcendence tier between Battalion and Arcana Emperor. So they will be, one of those two teams will be going on to face Godhand, who has just been, just absolutely dominated the season. Had a little bit of a lull in stage 2, but I guess they weren't worried about it because they were in first group. They weren't really worried, and they got their rest during that stage and just brought it back with an absolute violence as they have made their way up the tree. So whichever team comes out from that Indigo side, you better be ready, because there's going to be a lot going down. And if you missed it last night, we have our Harmony tier grand finals coming up next Tuesday as well, where we're going to be seeing Firefight take it on against the Koala King. So the duo alliteration teams in the grand finals. You can't write it any better than that, folks. And as always, every Monday night, you have the Irish podcast right here, where we're going to be talking about a lot of interesting stuff. And if I remember correctly from my notes, we are going to be talking about maybe season 7 next week. Maybe. So you need to keep your ear to the ground and be sure to hit that heart and punch that bell so you get notified when we're online, and then the schedule doesn't matter. Again, you can subscribe $4.99 on PC. Don't do it on your phone. It's an extra $1 because Google and Apple got to do their thing, so save yourself $1 to be able to support the community in that way. And we would really appreciate it. Thank you so much to producer Booth stepping in at the last minute. I love you, Dor, and I hope that everything's okay. Had something come up at the last minute, but Booth able to step in as always, our wonderful Twitch team admin. Tropic, thank you so much for being here. I hope that you have enjoyed your time here, and I hope we get to see more of you in the near future.
Yes, I had a grand time. I'm excited to see grand finales next week. I will definitely be tuning in, and 100%, I definitely hope to be around a lot more in the Train community.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining us this evening here at Overwatch Tranquility. That's Tropic Theory. My name's Captain Jack, and we'll see y'all next week.